Hello, I'm Mark Turn from PersonalDevelopment.Training. Today in this video I'll share with you, how can you stop your inner critic from debasing you with harsh words and convert it to a wise advisor? Your inner critic is that voice inside your head that tells you that you're not good enough, don't deserve to be happy, and should do better. You can transform this negative thinking into something more supportive and encouraging by rewording it into a more positive perspective. Overriding your inner critic voice with positive thoughts or positive answers usually won't stop your inner critic from being there and coming out later again. So there's a way to relate to your inner critic in a deeper way that will give you more chances to silence it for good. There's a way to heal your inner self. There is a way to get support from your inner critic instead of being sabotaged. The strategies we'll see in this section are aiming to repurpose your inner critic intent to more positive outcomes. This has somehow to do with talking with your unconscious, which is the inner part of your mind from which the inner critic is coming. We'll exploit the subpersonality approach. It sees our mind and personality made up of many independent parts acting as independent but interconnected actors, each with their own purpose and pushing towards it. These purposes are the ways your mind has adopted to ensure your safety. Therefore, your behavior will come from these subpersonalities, which all have the same ultimate purpose to keep you safe. The inner critic, in this way, can be seen as one part, or subpersonality, of your mind with a behavior, a purpose and a way to communicate with you to make its purpose satisfied. Find out more on subpersonalities in my self-confidence blog at www.thesolution2.com, link in the video description. These strategies require some inner work, that means willing to deep dive into our own mind, explore our inner world and finally know more yourself. So, how to know your inner self? How to know that special part that we know as your inner critic? How to talk to your inner self and your inner critic? There are many ways to engage in this conversation, from more usual to more unconscious ones. 1. Talk positively with your inner critic. We simply need to talk positively to your inner critic and tell it that we like ourselves and what we're doing, no matter how imperfect it is. It's the only way that the inner critic will feel less powerful and eventually fade away when you achieve your goals. You can start a positive conversation with your inner critic with the following steps. 1. Sit down and relax. 2. Focus on the feelings and the thoughts your inner critic is throwing to you. 3. Feel them in your body. Focus on where you feel the physical sensations, on temperature, pressure, etc. 4. Give the inner critic a name and imagine it's a person, a pet, or something else you can communicate with. Naming your inner critic will help you to be acquainted and establish a communication with it. 5. Thank it for coming out and ask it how it's trying to help you. 6. Thank it for its help and tell it what you're trying to do, your purpose, goal or activity that raised the inner critic, and how this is for your own safety. 7. Ask it which part of your purpose it could be willing to help you with. 8. When it tells you where he could help you, thank it and ask it what is the first step it could help you to do to go towards it. 9. Then thank it for his help and support, and do that first step. In this process, when you ask questions to your inner critic but don't get answers, just keep asking until you get an answer. If the inner critic subpersonality is resisting or adverse, just imagine to send it a lot of love and continue to imagine this until it becomes collaborative. This may sound quite elaborate, but try it out and after a little practice, you'll find that it gets a lot easier than it looks. 2. Use affirmations to silence your inner critic. By using affirmations, you can silence your inner critic and start seeing yourself as the capable person you are. Affirmations are a great way to change your thoughts and silence your inner critic. They work by changing the way you think about yourself and the world around you. Positive affirmations differ from the positive self-talk we've already seen, because they are meant to be repeated many times a day to condition your mind and create a positive thinking habit. To get an easy start, well suited for inner critics, check the affirmations for self-confidence, self-worth and self-esteem at my www.thesolution2.com blog, link in the video description. 3. Use subliminals to quiet your inner critic. One way to stop your inner critic is by using subliminal messages. A subliminal message is a type of communication technique with the subconscious mind. A subliminal message can be delivered in 3 ways, via sound, light or smell. The most common subliminal products in the market today are sound-based and are just positive affirmations that can't be heard by the conscious mind. The volume is too low but can be heard by the unconscious mind. The volume is not that low. They work by just listening to MP3 files, and this will submit to your unconscious mind a few positive affirmations thousands times until your unconscious, and with it, your inner critic, agrees with them. If you want to try this, you can find in the video description a link to the Quiet Your Inner Critic Subliminal from the smart guys at subliminalguru.com. They specialize in personal change tools. It's a 10 minutes MP3 to listen a few times each day. I suggest to try the spoken subliminal version, included in the package, that gives a more engaging experience. 4. Use self-hypnosis to quiet your inner critic. Hypnosis is a form of treatment that helps you find the best way to communicate with your unconscious mind. Hypnotists induce a state of trance to enter the hypnotic state during which they focus their energy on what they want to achieve, i.e., weight loss, better sleep, less headaches, etc. When in the hypnotic state, people are able to access their subconscious minds and more easily reach goals that have been elusive for years. Self-hypnosis uses many of the same techniques, but it's self-initiating. Like for subliminals, currently self-hypnosis packages on the market are just MP3 files that you listen to while relaxing. They are usually longer but have a much deeper effect. A product like self-hypnosis to overcome limiting beliefs from hypnosislive.com, link in the video description, can help you get rid of negative self-talk, including the stuff coming from the inner critic, and uncovers and addresses obstacles that are holding you back. Self-hypnosis on limit beliefs will help your mind be more open to new ideas, which will allow you to achieve your goals with less resistance. So, there are many ways to convert your inner critic to a wise counselor, and it can be done. Try at least talking to your inner critic, but affirmations, subliminals and self-hypnosis can accelerate a lot this process. Try and see what it's like to have the inner critic on your side. In the next video we'll see what are alternative empowering strategies to silencing your inner critic. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it or found it useful, I invite you to give it a thumbs up. Now, if you're ready to overcome your inner critic and get a head start towards developing your self-confidence, while learning to have more courage and set your path towards unleashing your personal power, take action now and enroll in my free 30-day self-confidence challenge. Click the link in the video description below and visit us at www.thesolution2.com/freeconfidence. See you in the next video.